Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming into another video. All right, so figured I'd do another therapy session. Don't know why. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I'm just sitting here, doing my mindful thing, smoking weed and counting blessings. No complaints right now. Just breathing issues. Still waiting on the leaf that I purchased that's supposed to help with that from some type of black shop for wellness. They made me aware of some type of leaf that helps with the congestion and all of that. So I figured that'd be a good investment, but it has yet to arrive. So I hope I didn't get duped. But it was only $20. But I'm trying stuff, man. I'm thinking about wellness. I think that's exactly where my head was before I turned on the camera. That's exactly what it was. I was praying and just really thinking about, I'm in the best shape of my life, but I'm already later in life. And one of the most important things for me in my mind, my perception in life is time and acceptance that a lot of it is already behind me. Regardless of what my ambition is, the body itself has to be adhered to from here. And even though I feel like I'm in my 20s, I know that I need to be mindful of my health, and I have not been at all, based on how I've been handling my mental health. So in thinking about my ambition and the things that I want to accomplish, or the things that I think I have energy to do based on how I feel today, it's not about how you feel today. It's about how you can make sure the practices of taking care of yourself today can propel you toward taking care of yourself tomorrow and having more older foundations from which to be working out from and taking care of yourself from. It's why I find myself doing so many reps of everything that I do. And rather than looking to invest in heavier weights per se, or trying to build heavy strength, it's more so about making these bones work, making these muscles work, getting them to stretch and be as elastic as possible. And I'll build strength in my 50s and 60s when I want to lift heavy, once I get to a point where all of that has been established, because I got such a bad start in life, establishing no good health habits until I was in my early 20s. So it's like the way that I perceive my body and how to take care of it. It's like, it's not even about how well I feel today. It's about how many years I want to live, how long I want to feel as good as I feel right now, and how possible is that is it even real to me that would be possible. A lot of guys who are my age, they've already stopped doing some of the things that I want to start doing. And some of my, as they say, don't allow your eyes to be bigger than your stomach as it pertains to looking at food, and then eating too much because you see all this food that looks so good to you, and you think your stomach's gonna be able to handle that, and you can't. That kind of thing. It's like, same goes for in regards to your ambition and what it is you want to do. All the traveling you think you want to do, all the things you think you could take on, even in conflicts, some of the stresses and different things you think you could do. It's like one has to be mindful of your body. And I don't think a lot of us in this country have been raised to be mindful of our bodies. In fact, I think it's been deliberate that we are not mindful of our bodies. But as I've grown, having been out of shape and having been unhealthy mentally, I just understand the different ways you can improve your mental health based on how you feel physically and based on the type of foods that you're eating on a daily. I've experimented with that in some extreme ways in my life, especially now having eaten a real strict diet as it pertains to what I can eat, with having had some food allergies. When I was a child, it was the opposite. I ate everything I wanted to eat, which is why I don't mind not eating any of it now. It's like every candy, every bit of, fast foods, every Whopper and burger I've ever wanted, I've had. I ate them all, a lot. Tacos, all that stuff. So at this point, it's like, there's nothing I haven't tasted. Now, it's just all about feeding my palate with something that I think could prolong my existence and put me in the shape that I've never been. You know what I mean? So just like anything else, I'm treating my body like something that needs to be sacrificed for, and since the allergies exist, it forces me to anyway. And so the mind adapts as well. It's like, with my brain, I go on this mission of getting in shape and trying to be healthy, but as my body's essentially telling me I'm not well. So it's like, I don't care. I'm pushing through it. I grew up on um, uh, Scott, man, from ESPN, man, the great. And I'm like, you know what? I watched him kickbox his way through cancer. I ain't nothing gonna stop me, bro. I'm gonna continue to push through it and train like an athlete. I watch athletes every day. I watch a guy like Skip Bayless, who works out and talks athletes. And he tries to think, put himself in a position to be as physically in shape with the athletes as a speaker. It's like that example literally exists with me. I can't sit up here and be talking about basketball players and not be training my body while they're sitting up training theirs. Even though they're getting paid to do so, I have to keep myself alive. And so it's like that understanding that they're practicing 4 times a week or 3 times a week. Hey, I'm practicing 4 times a week too. You best believe it. You guys are doing squats and stuff. You best believe BDF 44s in here is doing the same thing. I'm training too. And so it's like, it's that example that I think we need all over the world. People taking care of themselves and loving themselves, not necessarily for anybody's standards, how you're supposed to look or whatever. Nah, just to prolong your life so that your ambition can match what it is that your body can do. And we want to live forward. We want to live out. We're looking at things we want to see, technologies and different, experiences and art forms that we think are possible. We want to see our kids grow and see what they're going to turn into. And you can't do none of that with the bodies that some of us are running around with, man. And the reason why that is because we do not experiment with dieting a lot of times. We think that that's a cultural thing. Oh, they only do that in LA. No. That's what you do when you try to survive. You got to get your body right so that you can see the world forward. And so that's what's on my mind, man. It's not about making it corny or trying to turn it into something that is more so than what I perceive myself to be about. I'm not I'm not the wellness coach, but I'm pointing you toward them. Go to those guys, talk to those people, what have you. Get your bodies right and stop eating bullcrap. Some of that stuff is gonna taste good, and that's cool, man. But I think we've worked culture a little backwards as it pertains to, okay, let's feed me something that's gonna kill me because it's enjoyable. But you're limiting your life, and what you don't realize is life is going to get better, so the world's going to change, and as it does, those agreements are going to make us, they're going to die out. People are going to get healthier, and by the time you look up, you're not going to be a part of the world. It's like you got to leave now because you weren't healthy back then. So I'm just over that. I'm like, nah, let's get healthy back then. This is back then. Let's start and see that the way that you're going to be able to not have more than your stomach can handle with, you know what I mean, in terms of your ambition and wanting to see 20 years from now and having plans that you want to be a part of. You can make that a reality if you start eating better and doing the wellness stuff, if you haven't already started now. You know what I'm saying? The wellness stuff and psyching your mind into understanding that this is the God's honest truth. Culture has told us, by way of their need for our money and our attention, that we should desire things that want us dead. You should smoke cigarettes, that wants to kill you. You should drink, you get in a car, you get all kinds of stuff goes wrong. You know what I mean? But they want to continue to give you this stuff. You eat some of this fast food that's supposed to really, really, really taste good. It's terrible for you. It's going to cause you a lot of heart problems and things of that nature. And then you're not going to be able to live out. You're going to see 20 years down the road and just assume you're going to see it. But the reality is you got 5 years to go. It's like that type of stuff does not have to be a reality for our kids. It don't have to be the reality for our grandkids. And it's not. We're getting healthier by the second. And I think this is just another conversation that's going to push us along. This is definitely not an independent thought. And obviously many people are much more healthy than me. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. We got to keep it going. I want to live to see certain things. I haven't even had a start of a family yet. I haven't even got my mental health together yet. You know what I mean? So for myself, it's like, hey, life might not actually start until I'm an older guy. And that really does suck, but that might really be the thing. So I got to be healthy for that. So I'm taking care of myself with the intention of that being possible. And if it doesn't pan out, who cares? I'll have a really, really hot body as an old, crazy man. That's an okay thing. I really believe that. Because at the end of the day, we want to feel good in life, man. We want to feel good no matter how long we have. Trust you me, your mind, your thinking, and how you perceive yourself It's clearer when your muscles move and your reaction timing is better. They're not going to tell you that in the commercial about the succulent food, salad, all of this. They're not going to tell you that your brain changes, bro. Like literally changes. How I think, what I feel, the motions of my body and all. It's a different body to live in now that I eat differently. It's not the same, and it ain't about perception of looks. It's something else too. It's breathing, and maybe it's the oxygen that comes in differently when you're eating better and doing well. And certain, I think, I truly believe this, but certain things that are in this world, depending on what your allergies are supposed to be eaten. I think the human body is actually supposed to consume certain things, and I'm not a scientist in regards to this, obviously, but when I started eating apples every day, carrots every day, salads every day, what I started to notice is when I remove certain aspects of that from my diet, I would feel distinctively certain things missing from my energy. Specifically, I could pinpoint it. It got to a point where, because I'm in isolation and because I'm so focused on what I'm doing and perceive patterns the way that I do, I could literally feel when the carrots were missing. Or I could literally feel when I didn't have my vitamins for a week. I could tell when my water intake wasn't right. It all gave a different feeling, different things. And so it's like, as I became more in tune with my body and was able to take the time to really intently kind of just focus on these patterns, I started realizing that I was paying attention to the patterns that came with being unhealthy as a child too. I remember how I felt when I didn't have the tacos I craved and how my mind wasn't right because I had those desires for those additives that are probably there that we don't probably know are there. Those type of things. It was like I craved for red vines. I remember sitting down eating a whole tub of those things, as to which my mother would tell me not to eat them, but I would still go in there disobediently and continue to go for them because I could not control myself. I'm like, what is this? I have an addictive personality. That's what it was. But also, that stuff was affecting my brain. It was affecting it was almost like sin. It's like I had to have it, And so when you realize it's killing you, and you realize everything that you just have to have, it's either killing you or really helping you, then you realize that some stuff isn't desirable and other stuff you must go toward as it pertains to your diet and different things that you intake. And we got to discern what's what, and we got to understand that misdirection's out there because people who sell the stuff that ain't no good definitely have to make it sound good, and they definitely have to create a culture for which it's desirable. So over the last 100 years or so, they've done that, and that's what we've woken up to. So you gotta train your mind to understand these people trying to kill you for real. They don't care about you staying alive. They care about keeping their companies going for 200, 300, 400 years. So they got to continue to keep y'all fat and eating this stuff and desiring to do so. But we want to live because they're gonna be out of power soon, and the world's going to change, and we're going to want to have healthy bodies to enjoy that. That's the way I see it. It's exactly the way I see it. I perceive a world totally different based on the type of conversations I'm having right here. We're going to change the world right here, and so we're going to be healthy for it. And that's what it's about, man. I literally believe that. I don't take that lightly as a person who prays to God for different changes and sees the world changing naturally based on the birth of the internet over the last 30 years. I just don't see a world where a lot of agreements remain, and I don't see a world where black and white thinking even exists. It's over for that. Now we're starting to find solutions, and we're starting to categorize. We're starting to understand compassion and apply good energy and things of that nature. And part of that is ignoring the misdirection tactics of those who want to kill us. It's starting to provide ourselves the thoughts of those who want to survive, those who want to see the new world tomorrow. And that's ignoring that nonsense and starting to get a repetitive understanding of what is healthy, how to make that taste good, and how to work out, how to make that fun. And then from there, how to survive and see your grandkids and great-grandkids and even expectancy of their kids so that they can see their great-great-great-grandkids as we continue to establish better habits than our ancestors ever had. This is how we do it. You expect us to live to see, 70? If we start the process of overriding this crap, our great-great-grandkids see 170, as far as I'm concerned. Why not evolve? Can't we see the evolution in sports? The examples there. All of us are evolving. So that is inevitable. But we got to start establishing the right habits. And we got to start getting those people out the way who want us to establish the wrong ones. Not only as it pertains to our food, but as it pertains to our brains. BDF 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.